Welcome, everybody. This is the DVMUG Zoom meeting, Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. I got a couple pieces of news for you and then some videos, a couple from short ones from Apple, and then our regular Q&A and social hour with what's left over. Okay, we'll move forward. News first, news item. These are the news items. Very first there's two TV mug items and two Mac items. So first item, boot camp this Saturday, 10 a.m. at the office and on Zoom. Mike and Rick and I will be there. And any questions about that? You probably already know about it. It was in the MailChimp. The topic will be, I didn't put that in the slide. Oh yeah, Apple and Google Translate apps. Going to cover the differences. Okay. Moving on. Reminder of the picnic. Save the date. Tuesday, September 1st at 6 p.m. at the park in Martinez. It was in the Sunday email. It'll be every week between now and then. It has the map and all the stuff in there. So just put it on your calendar so you don't sign up for something else. Okay, next item. If you run in Tahoe, Sequoia, or Sonoma, and you haven't noticed, there was updates again, and pretty important security updates, no features. You should do them. It's a thing with screen sharing. If you're on a public network at Starbucks or somewhere, somebody could possibly screen share into your computer and see what else, everything you're doing. So if you do that kind of stuff, you absolutely don't do that without doing this update. Okay. And I heard pretty strong rumor, they're going to do this on the iOS too. But I don't know why screen sharing would be an issue with those, but that's what they said they're working on. It's already in the beta, I think, Gary. Already did a very strange point update for betas they pushed out, which is very unusual, which has something to do with this security. Okay, anything else? Moving on. Okay, this is a little tidbit I thought I'd throw in. I've been looking at this every day, and it's a very nice little page on the tidbit site. You have the button, or here's the link, and it looks like this, and it just lists the important software that was updated, the day, what was updated, the version number, and you can read about it. So you can do, and one page, it goes back and you can search for the name of your software and find all the old versions and when were they released if you're on the current version and when it came out and what was different. But in one page, it has like a month's worth of whatever happened. So if you're curious if your stuff is up to date, you can just check here real quick and see what's going on. I'm going to be a permanent link in the news on Sunday at the top. It just says software watch list, Mac updates. Click here, it gets to this page. You can just, when you're reading the news, you can just check once a week. Okay, anybody think about this? There's a bunch of Mac update apps that scans your non-Apple apps and finds if there's updates with the one that everybody used, Mac Updater, not being updated. It still kind of works, kind of not. There's a couple other ones that kind of work, kind of not. The one that I actually found that actually finds the most stuff is the App Cleaner and Uninstaller, which they added an updates feature, and it finds more stuff than anything else of the other apps that I'm using. So there's a free version that will check a trial, but if you actually want to push the button and have it automatically up, then you got to get the paid version. So anyway, there you go. Here's our videos. Couple two from Start with Apple, and then a couple from Gary, and one small little tiny one at the end from Apple. So here we go. This is how to add and remove a device from your AppleCare One plan.
With AppleCare One, you can cover multiple Apple products in one simple plan, so you're protected for accidents like drops and spills, as well as theft and loss for iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch. In this video, we'll show you how to add or remove a device from AppleCare One right in Settings on your iPhone or iPad with iOS 18.5 or later. But first, let's take a closer look at how it works. AppleCare One provides protection for up to 3 Apple products, including eligible devices you already own. You can change the products in your plan anytime you need to, and if you want to cover more than 3, you can add them for an additional monthly fee. If you trade in a product covered by AppleCare One and upgrade it with Apple, the new product is added to your plan automatically. To get started with AppleCare One, you can go to your AppleCare and Warranty settings on your iPhone or iPad. Then follow the prompts to subscribe. Ready? Let's learn how to add your devices to AppleCare One. In your General settings, tap AppleCare and Warranty. In the AppleCare One section, tap Add Device. Now you'll select a device to add to your plan. Most products less than 4 years old and in good condition are eligible. And if it's listed under Ready to Add, you can add it in a few easy steps. Just tap the device, and when you're ready, tap Continue to confirm. That's it! Your device is covered by AppleCare One. Tap Done to return to AppleCare and Warranty. Now let's add another. Tap Add Device again. This time, we'll select one that's listed under Action Needed. This looks like it needs a device check to make sure it's in good condition. Tap it, and when you're ready, tap Continue to confirm. Now it's time for the device check. This could involve cleaning your device and then capturing images of it with another iPhone or iPad. The second device also needs iOS 18.5 or later, but it doesn't have to belong to you. So feel free to borrow one from a friend or family member. Both devices should have Wi-Fi turned on. The check will take a few minutes, and if you don't want to do it yourself, you can tap Check at an Apple store to make an appointment. To start the device check, tap Continue. Now you need to verify that your device is in good condition. Tap the button next to each statement if you agree with it, and then tap Confirm. Next, review the terms and conditions for the device check and tap Agree to continue. When a QR code appears on your screen, scan it with the camera on the second device. The second device also displays terms and conditions for the device check. Review them, and tap Agree to continue. Now it's time to prep the device you're adding to AppleCare One. If you're using a screen protector, take it off if it's damaged. Clean your device well to remove any smudges. You'll also need to remove your case and any stickers. When you're ready, tap Continue. Camera opens automatically on the second device. Position the device you're adding to AppleCare One in the frame and follow the guidance on your screen to capture images. When everything is lined up, the captures are taken automatically. Once all 3 captures are submitted, you can tap Close on the second device and set it aside. A progress bar appears on the device you're adding to AppleCare One during the rest of the device check. This might take a few minutes, depending on your network speed. When the check is finished, a message appears that your device has been added. If you're purchasing coverage for more than 3 products, you'll be asked to authorize the additional monthly fee. And that's it! Your device is now protected. It's also easy to remove a device from AppleCare One if you decide to recycle it, sell it, or give it away. In your General settings, tap AppleCare and Warranty. In the list of AppleCare One devices, tap the one you want to remove. Now just tap Remove Device, and then read the information and tap Remove Device again to confirm. Done! And that's how to keep all your Apple products covered with AppleCare One. AppleCare One is not available in all countries or regions. Terms and conditions apply. Some sequences in this video are shortened.
Okay, anybody have AppleCare One? You do?
Yes, and I went through those steps. I had a device I needed to remove and devices I needed to add. So while warranty was getting near the end for my for one of my devices, I dropped it, and so I have my Mac Mini and my iPhone 17e and my 10th generation iPad, all in AppleCare One. I asked about adding one more phone, and it's no bargain for that fourth device, so I didn't bother. They're charging too much.
So when they said it takes a while, they're running some kind of diagnostics on the phone to make sure it's okay, I assume, right?
They didn't do that on mine. I did this
Oh, it said ready to go,
yeah.
but did you have to take the pictures?
No, it didn't ask me to take any pictures.
Oh, I wonder why.
Well, maybe they've added that more recently, and I grandfathered in.
The reason they do that is they don't want to have you have a cracked screen and then sign up and then go try to get a fix, you know?
Well, he was still on warranty, so that's why they didn't have to.
Oh, still covered on warranty.
The 17E was new, and
Oh,
the device that would not be in warranty I was dropping, which was a third generation iPhone SE. So, but
Why should I be on AppleCare One? What does it do for me?
well, if your device is dropped or damaged or stolen, they cover it.
Even though you don't have a long-term warranty
right.
thing.
If they determine your device is new enough and in good enough condition, they'll let you pay the it's about $20 a month, $19.99 a month for 3 devices.
Okay.
Covers theft, loss or theft and cracked screens. But there's a fee for the cracked screens and there's some kind of deductible. I
I
think
assume there's deductible for pretty much everything now,
maybe
certainly for loss, theft and loss.
you gotta read the fine print.
My impression from that video was, what? You don't trust us? Don't we look honest?
Well, they trusted me for some reason.
Apparently they can see you, Kenzie.
Okay, well, we'll move on, huh? Anything else about that? All right, next video. How to reinstall macOS from macOS recovery.
Need to reinstall the operating system on your Mac? You can use macOS Recovery, the built-in recovery system on your Mac. We'll show you how to start up in macOS Recovery on your Mac with Apple Silicon, and then we'll teach you how using your Intel-based Mac. If you're not sure what type of Mac you have, you can safely try the steps for both. We'll end with showing you how to reinstall macOS from macOS Recovery. Before you start, make sure you have access to an internet connection, that your Mac is plugged into power, and that it's turned off. If you're using a wireless keyboard, plug it into your Mac if possible, or use your built-in keyboard or a wired keyboard along with a mouse or trackpad. Let's begin by starting up from macOS Recovery on your Mac with Apple Silicon, which is any Mac with an M-Series or A-Series chip. With your Mac off, press and hold the power button. Keep holding until loading startup options or the options icon appears. Then release. This might take a moment. Now, click Options, and then click the Continue button that appears below it. The Apple logo and progress bar appear on your screen. Wait while it completes. Select the user and click Next. Enter the password you used to log into your Mac and click Continue. Your recovery utilities appear. You can now perform tasks like reinstalling macOS, restoring your Mac from a time machine backup, and more. Now, let's learn how to start up from macOS recovery on your Intel-based Mac, which is any Mac that doesn't have an M-series or A-series chip. There are two commands that put your Mac into recovery. Command N-R allows you to reinstall the latest compatible version of macOS previously installed on your Mac. In most cases, this is our recommendation. Alternatively, you can use Option Command N-R to install the latest compatible version of macOS. We're going to use Command N-R. With your Mac off, press and release the power button to turn your computer on. Immediately press and hold Command and R on your keyboard. Keep holding these keys until the Apple logo or a spinning globe appears, then release. This could take a moment. You might need to complete additional steps, like selecting a Wi-Fi network. Then, select the user and click Next. Enter your password and click Continue. Once the recovery utilities appear, you can perform tasks like reinstalling macOS, restoring your Mac from a time machine backup, and more. Now that your Mac is in recovery mode, let's learn how to reinstall macOS. Start by clicking Reinstall macOS. Click Continue, and click Continue again. You might be asked to review and accept the terms and conditions in order to continue. If you agree, click Agree. And click Agree again to confirm. Choose the disk where you want to install macOS. For this example, we're selecting the computer's main drive, Macintosh HD. Click Unlock to confirm. When prompted, enter your password. Click Unlock and click Continue. During setup, you might be asked to unlock your disk. If this happens, enter your password and click OK. The installation process might take a while, so wait for it to complete without putting your Mac to sleep, turning it off, or closing the lid. During installation, your Mac might restart and show a progress bar several times, or the screen might be empty for minutes at a time. When it's done, a login window appears. Enter your password and follow the prompts. And that's how to reinstall macOS from macOS recovery. Some sequences in this video were shortened.
There you go. Got some in the chat, somebody asking something. Okay. Yeah,
John?
Go ahead.
When would I need to know how to do this?
If your computer won't start up, it's corrupted and it won't boot, and it just hangs there for half an hour and nothing happens, you're gonna have to do something.
Okay.
You
Thank
can
you.
boot up. There's also disk utility in there. Where you can try to repair it.
Yeah, it's a good time to run the disk utility and make sure that the disk you're installing onto is not corrupted.
Well, it could fix it so it reboots, but yeah, you can do that. I didn't realize it always comes up with the original software. So if you've had your computer for a long time, you've upgraded to a new version. I didn't realize you could hold the Option R and force it to get the latest one available or run on your computer, even if it's newer than one you have installed. But you
And
gotta,
Apple doesn't necessarily have really old versions to install using this method.
yeah, it's kind of hit and miss what you're gonna get. I mean, I do this with after we, so you can, all right, so when people donate a computer, they want to e-waste it. To start up and recovery, use disk utility and erase the drive securely, zero it out, ones and zeros. It's not recoverable. Then you can still stay in recovery mode and hit reinstall, and you don't really care what goes on there, just make it bootable so somebody could possibly start over. I didn't realize you can force it to, and it usually installs something really old. That's nice, and then you boot up and then you do software update, but you got to make an account, log in, and whatever. That's nice to know you can force it to release when it looks up. That saves steps. This is also going to take a really long time. Depending on your internet speed, it has to download from the internet the new software, and it's pretty slow.
Thank you.
And it's nice to know that it's there.
And if your disk is really damaged, it might not even find the recovery partition.
It's possible that you don't even have a recovery partition. It's supposed to be installed by default, but sometimes it didn't get installed, or people, for whatever reason, it doesn't exist. You do with Command R and it doesn't find anything. And then you're kind of, what do I do now? You got to find another, you can try to you can try to just hold the Option key on an Intel machine or a Silicon machine. You got to press and hold the power button. Boots up through a sequence where you choose anything that's connected to the computer that it would boot off of. Your time machine, an external clone with Super Duper or carbon copy, or whatever's out there. You can pick one of those and it'll boot off of that. Then you can see your corrupted internal and see if it's there. You might want to try to recover your data, whatever. That's another way to go before you wipe it out and wipe out your data, which is not a problem if you have a time machine. You got your stuff, hopefully. Okay. Anything else? Next. Going forward. Well, I'll move forward, please. There we go. This from Gary. Useful password tips. It's a little long, but I think it's a good topic.
Hi, this is Gary with MacPost.com. Here are 10 tips for using the Passwords app on your Mac. So we've had the Passwords app on our Macs and our iPhones and iPads for quite a while now. Here are some additional tips that you may not know about. I'm going to launch the Passwords app and then authenticate. And inside the Passwords app, of course, you'll see a list of all of your passwords here. And you'll see some buttons here to the left. You probably have all selected so you can see all of your passwords. And you can search for them here or just scroll through them. But also remember to pay attention to the button here marked Security. Go to that and then check to see what's listed. This is going to list any passwords that are too simple. They're too easy to guess. And you should work to change them. So for instance, this one right here tells me that the password is just too simple of a password. Every website does it a little differently how you change passwords. So go to the site, change the password, and then in doing so, it should update the password you have stored here. Don't get overwhelmed by this list. It's typical to have dozens of things here. Some of them are as simple as an easily guessed password. Some may say that it's a reused password. In other words, a password used in more than one location, and you should definitely avoid those. And other times you'll see compromised passwords. Deal with the compromised passwords first. That means there's been a data breach with that website and your password is just out there. So you want to log in to that site and change your password. But don't get overwhelmed by this list. Take care of the compromised passwords first and then work over the course of a day or even over many days to update any passwords that are too weak or are being reused. Now, while it's nice to have this entire app here so that you can view all your passwords, sometimes you just quickly want to get to a password. And you could do that without even launching the Passwords app. So in the Passwords app, go to Passwords Settings and look for Show Passwords in Menu Bar. Turn that on. It's going to add this menu bar item here. So now we can quit the Passwords app, but that menu bar button is still there. You can click on it, authenticate. I'll do that with Touch ID here, or you can do it with your password. And you can search through your passwords right in this little handy menu bar drop-down menu instead of having to launch the app each time. Now you can use the Passwords app for more than just strictly passwords. If you want to store some secure information, you could do it. Just create a new entry. I'll do that with the plus button here and give it a title. So for instance, let's say you have a padlock, to the gate in your yard or something like that. You can assign a title like that. Then go to the password field here. Click on that and select Choose My Own Password. So you can enter in something like a security code or an ATM pin. Something like that there if you like. Or you could leave this blank here and go to the Notes section and put information there. So you can just put whatever you want here on multiple lines and save it. And it will let you save it here with just any information you've got in there. It doesn't require that you have a password or a website or anything. A title and something in the password field or a title and something in the note field will work just fine. Now here's something I talked about in a recent video and I was surprised that people didn't know about this. When you've got two-factor codes, sometimes those come from an app. A lot of people use something like Google Authenticator or another passwords app to generate those two-factor codes. And they don't realize that this is a feature of the Passwords app as well. So for instance, let's set one up here. I'm going to go to this demo Google account here and it doesn't have a two-factor code associated with it. So it's going to give me this button here, Set Up Code. But also if I edit here, you'll see Code, None, and I could set up code. I can click there and it's going to ask for a setup key. Or I can choose a QR code image. So this is a Google account. I'm going to go to the security and sign-in section of that Google account where you would set up two-factor verification. I'm going to click on it right here and this allows me to set up two-factor authentication. And you see I can do that right here using an Authenticator app. But it doesn't have to be Google Authenticator or some other app. You could just use the Passwords app for this. I'm going to go into it here. I'm going to set it up and you can see it's going to give me a QR code, which is kind of hard to scan in the code on your screen with the camera that's above your screen. But they know that. That's why there's this Can't Scan It button. Click that and you can see here it gives you this key. I'm going to select this key and copy it. And I'm going to switch back to the Passwords app here and I'm going to set up the code for this account. I'm going to paste it in and say use the setup key. And you can see now it shows that there is a verification code associated with this. And I see code right up here. And it gives me the code. I don't have to click anything special to get to it. So I can take this code here and confirm here on the site. It does this to make sure. As a matter of fact, I don't even need to type it in. You can see how the Passwords app right away is hooked into this. And it's saying, yeah, use this verification code. So it's going to do that. And you can see it matches the one that's here. And now that it's set it up, it's all set and ready to go for this account. Other websites do it in different ways, but they always provide a security key of some kind. It looks like a bunch of random letters for you to copy and paste in situations like this. Another handy feature of the Passwords app is the ability to view the history of changes. This is particularly useful when you change the password, but you're not fully confident that the website change actually occurred. So you want to save the old password. I used to always put these in notes, but you don't have to do that anymore because now you can go to an entry like this one here and then click on View History. It'll only appear there if there is actually a history. And here you can see that the password was changed recently and you can go back and look at the previous password. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 3,000 others that support MacMost through Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Another cool thing you can do with the Passwords app is create shared groups. So go to File and select New Shared Group. And you can create a group that includes other people and just add them, or you can create a family group for your family. This way you could share passwords. Very useful for things like streaming services where, say, you and your spouse may both need to occasionally log in from time to time. You can both know what the password is, and if it changes, it updates for the both of you. So normally when you select an item in passwords here, it shows you your username and of course the password. But some are different. For instance, if I go here, I could see it says instead of username, Apple account. What this means is that when I signed up for this account, instead of providing an email address, I simply hit the Continue with Apple button. That created a private email address, a one-off email address associated just with that account so that I could log in to that site without it knowing my actual email address. So if you use the Continue with or Sign in with Apple buttons to easily create accounts, note that you'll see them listed here as Apple accounts. It'll show you the Apple account name and the email address associated with it. No password is provided because it's simply going to use Apple's system to authenticate that you are you and pass that to the website or app instead of actually having a password. But it can be really useful, especially if you're trying to get back into a website that you know you signed up for and your email address isn't working, it says it can't find the account. Look it up in the Passwords app and you may find that you used that Sign in or Continue with Apple button to create the account originally. So you don't actually have an email address and password pair for that account. You're going to use that Apple button once again to sign back in. Now, if you have all selected here on the left, you would imagine it lists all of your passwords. But it doesn't. It's going to leave out one specific type. That's your Wi-Fi passwords. They are going to be listed under here instead. So you won't find them if you're looking at all. And if you select Wi-Fi, you won't find all your regular passwords. You'll just find the Wi-Fi passwords. This list is probably going to be long because anytime you've logged into a public Wi-Fi system or at a hotel or a restaurant, cafe, anywhere, it is going to record that. And you could be doing that on your iPhone and it's sharing it with the rest of your devices. So you're going to see a lot of old stuff here. Doesn't really hurt to keep them around, but you can clean it up every once in a while if you like. But it's also handy to be able to share the password with somebody else. So if you wanted to share the password, you could just select it here and then you could see the password and you can even click it and it will copy. Or you can click Show and it'll bring up a QR code on your Mac's screen and they could use their camera on their phone to get the password very easily. There's no way to save this, but you can always take a screenshot of it, say if this is for your home network, and use that to print out a sign that say goes by the network equipment for guests to be able to use. Now sometimes you're looking for a password and you search for it and can't find it because the term that you think of when you think of that site or service isn't actually part of their domain name or isn't part of the account name. You can kind of customize how search works in the Passwords app by using the notes. So for instance, if I go into this password entry here, edit, and then go down to notes and type in just something that I may associate with this site here, then that will show up when I search, even though that's not the name of the website or the app. And here's one final tip. If you've been holding off using Apple's Passwords app because you don't use Safari as your browser, note that you don't have to. There are actually browser extensions for the Passwords app in the most popular browsers. And you actually get them right here from inside the Passwords app. Just go to Passwords and look for Get Browser Extension. And it's going to bring up this list here that includes Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and Firefox. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Want to know about every new
Comments, questions?
Well, I got a suggestion for anybody that I went into my bank recently and for various reasons I changed the password. And then when I came in a day or so later to go to the bank, wouldn't install properly, and I was having problems. And I finally realized what was happening is the system was going down to the passwords app and picking up the old password, not the new one that I'd put in there. And so when you change passwords in the password app, it's a good idea just to go ahead and delete it, so that you always have the latest one in there.
How did you enter the new password into the
I,
password?
I entered the password on another device, and
Oh,
and but so when I came to the other device that came in, it had both passwords in it, but either
did
one
you,
would have had the same problem.
did you,
Um,
because usually when you're trying to, if you're going to log into someplace and you change the password and you save, it usually asks you, do you want to update your old one? But it didn't do that in the
well,
method that you
if it
used.
did, I I think it. I don't know. I can't remember what happened, but I just remember both the old and the new got into the passwords app.
Yeah.
And when it went
I
to search for a password, it just happened to take the older one rather than the new one.
I see that all the time. Sometimes we'll have two, three, four logins with the wrong user ID, the
Yeah,
wrong
exactly.
password, and whatever, all kinds of places.
Yeah,
And then when you go to the website, it gives you a choice. Which one do you want to use? You don't know which one's the right one.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I I run into this problem with our local library here, where there's multiple places in the library system that all use the same password. And so it tells me that I have duplicates because it saves it under a different URL each
Right,
time.
right.
And I wish there was a way to tell Apple, this is okay, leave it alone, stop telling me it's a duplicate.
Yeah, if it's a different URL, sometimes you can say it'll have a longer URL and you could shorten it to the base URL and then it applies to all the other pages you might go to. But sometimes the first part, it's something they change it and then,
Well, it's seeing the same password for both
right, but it's not the
because
same
the library
thing.
insists on using the same password in multiple places.
Well,
Now,
sometimes the library goes out of their system to some other place to log in with the library, like, and so it's actually a completely different domain, but it's the same login.
in
Yep.
Contra Costa Library, my password is my date of birth.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you can change that.
well, I know you
Right.
can, but there's probably no reason to worry about it.
You can't make your password longer in the Contra Costa library system either. It's really poorly implemented.
Okay. Anything else about passwords? If you're using, they've had this feature with passwords within Safari. You had to go to it into Safari preferences, then they moved it into system settings. They had passwords, and now they made a separate passwords app. It's all the same data, and then it's available on your iPad, your iPhone, and in the latest Mac OS, it's the same app. It works the same everywhere, so you can look up your password on your phone, and then type it in somewhere else if you're at a
And
strange
if you have a
location or something.
wife that doesn't like to deal with passwords, you can put hers in there too. So you can look at hers and she can look at yours and so on.
Yep. Yeah, you got to keep track of them somehow. So once you got them going and you keep them up to date and stuff, it saves a lot of grief
Yeah.
rather than a lot of people still use an Excel spreadsheet and you keep them in there and you don't, and then the date they change, you don't remember to change it, and you got the old one and the new one, and which one's the right one, and it's a mess sometimes. Okay, moving on. There we go. What do we got
Hi,
next?
this is Gary with MacMost.com.
Oh, I went too far. Okay, this is the next one here. Drive filling up? check your mail log. This just actually happened to us at the clinic every once in a while. It's a real thing, but I haven't seen it a lot lately.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Let me show you how one simple setting in your Mail app could be filling up your Mac's drive quickly. So there are a lot of different reasons why your Mac's drive could be filling up. You could just be creating a lot of content, or there could be various other apps and processes that are storing a lot of data. But one very small setting in Mail could actually be putting gigabytes of needless information on your drive, filling it up, and you may not even realize it. These are mail logs, basically text files that are recording every transaction between your Mail app and the servers you use for email. You would use mail logs to troubleshoot problems. Now normally they aren't turned on. It's not recording these. But you may have been told by somebody helping you with support to turn them on to help you troubleshoot something. Or maybe you saw the setting and turned it on yourself thinking you might use it later. But it stores so much information in these text files that it could fill up gigabytes in just days, hundreds of gigabytes in weeks, and fill up your drive, and none of the normal places you look for large files will reveal this. So here I am in the Mail app. If I want to find the setting for logging mail connections, I won't find it in Mail settings where you think you would. It's not in any one of these. It's not in system settings. It's in the window menu. There's a special window called Connection Doctor. And here you've got this window that will show you the status of your connections to your email servers. You may have a lot more than just the in and out here for iCloud. You may have several different mail accounts listed here. And you have the option here to log the connection activity. You can see I've got it checked here. This is when you want to look for. If it's checked, it means it's filling up a file with every connection to your email server with data. And it's going to get big fast. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 3,000 others that support MacMost through Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Even if you've got this turned off, you still want to go and check out the log files because you may have had it turned on previously and never deleted the log files that you're not using anymore. So to find the log files, look for the Show Logs button here. The log files are actually hidden deep in your library folder, and there's no point in talking about the path to get there because this button will take you there instantly. It will open up a new Finder window right to that folder. You can see how deep it is here in your home folder, library, etc. And here are these text files. And you can see I've got two that are updated today corresponding to these two connections here, my incoming mail and outgoing mail. So you could see here this one is already 10 megs. But I just turned on logging just before starting this video. So it already grew to this size just with its initial checks for email. Every connection could be adding a lot more to this. And sometimes when it's syncing the entire account, it will take even more. So of course, if you've turned this on purpose and you want to log your mail activity, well, that's fine. Just remember you've got it turned on and remember to use it for whatever it is you're doing and turn it off when you're done. And also get rid of the log files so they don't take up space if you don't need them anymore. But otherwise, make sure this is turned off normally. Make sure you use Show Logs to go here and then make sure you delete these files. You could just drag them to the trash or use Command Delete or move to trash through the menu like that and empty your trash and it will clear off the space. But look at how fast these can fill up. I'll turn this back on here and you can see it immediately adds a file that's 0 bytes. Now let's go ahead and simply check for new email. So in the Mail app, I'll get new email like this and it's going to connect and you can see right away it starts adding some to this file. 25K just for a simple check where I didn't get any new messages. Let's do another check right here when I know I've got an incoming message here. So we'll get new mail And we'll see there's a message that came in, and you can see how it jumped to 60K just to get that one message. So again, if you're not using your mail logs, the first thing you want to do is check to make sure this is turned off. And then remember that that does not delete the existing mail logs. So you want to use show logs to jump to this folder. And if there's anything here, you can just delete it. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
Yes, useful to know. It hasn't happened lately, but in the past, I think we remember having somebody come to the clinic where I figured this out. Their drive was completely full, maxed out, the computer wouldn't run. Couldn't figure it out. Finally found this, so I do kind of remember if somebody's drive is getting really full to check this. Okay, any question? We'll move on. Next, how to digitize your membership cards.
Apple is finally making it easier to ditch your wallet by allowing you to create your own passes inside of Wallet. Here's how it works. I'll show you the easy way, the pro way, and the 2 features Apple really needs to add. Real quick, if you want to keep up to date with all of the latest Apple news and reviews, hit that subscribe button. So the newfound ability to create custom wallet passes is arriving as part of iOS 27. Currently, that's in public and developer beta testing, but it'll ship to everybody in September. I'm going to give you an early look at this feature, how it works, why I'm so excited about it, and how Apple really needs to make it even better. Let's go ahead and dive into it. There's tons of different type of passes that you can store inside of Apple Wallet. Things like Costco memberships, loyalty cards, passes, Clear memberships, coffee cards, Culver's restaurants. Like, there's all sorts of things that you can add in here, but we're going to walk through how you can do that here with iOS 27. All you need is your physical card or even a picture of it on your phone. It's really frustrating because some apps, Chick-fil-A, Giant Eagle, Costco, all have digital passes that you can use for memberships, but they're all hidden inside of their apps. There's no easy, direct way to add them to Apple Wallet. To do this, we're going to go into the Wallet app and tap the plus button like we normally would. It's going to think for a moment and give us a new option here towards the bottom called Create a Pass. Create custom passes for tickets, memberships, and more. It's going to guide you through the process, but it's first going to ask you this question, whether you want to do it automatically or manually. By the way, while you're here, if you're interested in all the new software features that Apple's been adding, I've done a ton of deep dives recently. You can check out everything that's new in Photos, with AirPods, with Apple TV, all sorts of stuff. I've linked a few of them throughout this video, and you can find them all over on the channel. Doing it automatically is the easy way to do it. You can just drop your card right there in front of the camera, take a photo of it, and it's going to pull out any information that it can and use that to create your pass. That's what it did just here. It gave us our member number in that top corner, told us this is the big rewards program, and there's the QR code that you would scan. If I want to, I can just go ahead and add this to Wallet, and it just took me 1 second to do that entire thing. Something that's pretty cool is you don't actually have to use a physical card. Instead, we can use a screenshot by tapping on that little photo button in that lower left-hand corner. This is awesome, and it'll actually filter down to photos that you've taken that happen to contain barcodes. I've blurred most of these out, but there's like shipping labels and boxes and other things like that that I have taken photos of that it thinks potentially could be some sort of membership card. I'm actually going to use this one here of Costco. Here's the image that it's starting from, which is literally like a Costco pass, and boom, pulls in the color scheme for Costco, this blue. We've got our member number, expiration date, name, member status, our membership code, all of that information, and again, I can just tap on add and add it directly to Wallet. If you do need to make any changes before adding it to Wallet, you can hit Edit Pass. You can change any of those fields that it had added for you. You can change any colors with a button in the lower left-hand corner, including the color itself or choosing one from the background images. And then on the lower right-hand corner, you can add or remove fields. Right now in kind of this automatic mode, you can only remove fields. These all can be removed. I can't add any additional ones. There's kind of a limit on how many can be added or removed, but if I even remove this, I could add this back in there, but I can't add any extra spaces anywhere like that. Just tap on those, can pull them in, but you're kind of a little bit limited in what you can add from this automatic mode. And boom, just like that, it is here inside of the Wallet app. I can pull up this pass, scan it to get into the club, the membership, whatever it happens to be, and I can hit view original photo and it actually shows you the source. So if I did scan something like a physical card, or in this case a screenshot, it actually pulled that original file, so it can still get this information from the original source instead of what it had created in the Wallet app in case something ever goes awry. So I do love that they contain that photo there and make it really easy to get to just below the pass. It's still just wild to me that this is how long it took me before it was like this easy to add a Costco to the Wallet app. Like, come on, how has this not been a thing beforehand? So now let's try it again, but let's do it manually. This is what I would say is like the pro version of this, where you have more control. For example, you actually get to start right out of the gate from standard, membership, or event, depending on what it is that you're adding. So we can just do a standard membership here. And now we have full control. We have a little icon that we can choose in that top left-hand corner. There's a whole bunch to choose from here. So let's go through and just pick something easy for like the Big Lots card. Like, it's a store. Cool, it's a store. We can go to here and we can name it. So I can just name it Big Lots. We can add any fields here, so we can add labels and fields and text there. And all of these can. In this blank one here, we can tap on that and add additional fields if we want to. We have to go into that add and remove fields first, but then I can tap it, add some extra pass fields to that. So you have a lot of control over that. On the lower left, we have those colors again. When I tap into that, we can choose background color. There's a few to choose from already. And then we have different textures. So there's beams, rays, glass, or just straight colors. So you can choose those. Orange works for Big Lots here, so we can leave it at that. And then for the code, we actually can scan the code, so wherever that happens to come from. Boom, just like that. We've scanned our little code in. So I've manually created a pass, scanned the codes, and here is my Big Lots pass that I can add to Apple Wallet. Once I filled out a few more details, here it is. It shows that this is a self-created pass here at the bottom, so there's no photo to tie to it. If I tap on the three little dots, I can do pass details, see all the information that we had, as well as going in here to edit the pass. If I do need to make any changes, I can still do that from Wallet. And I can share. So I can email this, I can message it, airdrop it, whatever. It's a pass just like any other in the Wallet app that you can share with somebody else. So perfectly, if you have like a shared grocery store membership for, Giant Eagle or Bueller's, whatever happens to be regional around you, you can easily share that with a family member and you guys all have it in your own Wallet app. Now, all of that is well and good, but I think there are two things that Apple needs to add to this Wallet Pass Creator tool before it is just perfect for me. The first one is locations. See, with actual wallet passes, whether they are for an airline, whether they are for a concert, anything like that, there's usually like a time or place associated with them. For example, whenever I go to the grocery store, whenever I get to the grocery store, it would pop up and say, hey, you're at Giant Eagle, here's your, loyalty card. And it just shows right there on the lock screen. I can tap it, open it, very easy to do. And you can do this with other custom pass creation apps that are out there that allow you to do this, usually that are paid. And Apple just needs to add this simple feature to its own pass creation tool. It should just be as simple as adding a location field or multiple location fields and then putting in an address. Then whenever you show up at that address, your wallet pass is shown right there on the lock screen, ready for you to use. Apple absolutely needs to add that. The second thing, and this is a little bit smaller, but I would like to see it, is more custom graphics. The graphics that Apple added are nice and good, but limited colors, no logos or anything like that. I just think Apple could go further. I'd love to be able to save an actual logo or an icon from an app or a company, whatever it happens to be, and add that in. You can see I've created ones for Giant Eagle and my own Costco card here, and I was able to add those in just fine. So I think Apple should do the same thing for its pass creation tool. It wouldn't be that difficult to implement, I wouldn't imagine. Hopefully that's something Apple will add. Seems like low-hanging fruit for further customization. So that's it. That's how you can add custom wallet passes to Apple Wallet with iOS 27. Let me know what you're going to add first down below in the comments. Otherwise, follow for more Apple news.
Okay, that's coming. That's not here yet. It's in the beta. There's something to-
Question,
Yeah,
what did he use to hold the phone up so it was easy to take a picture?
I
It
have
looked,
no idea. You have some kind of
look-
stand probably.
yeah, I never saw something like that. Would hold it up, just right for
Well,
taking
he
pictures
does,
of things.
obviously he does production. He does this all the time, so it's part of his setup.
But you don't have to be super careful taking a picture of a card to put in your wallet, though. It is very forgiving.
I always hold things at the wrong angle, so it's distorted.
It'll straighten it out.
I usually just lay it
Oh.
on the kitchen counter and turn on some good light, and it when it finds it, it draws a line around it and tracks it and takes the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it knows
Easy
how to do
peasy
it.
lemon squeezy.
Yeah. Sometimes, a lot of times now they want to take your photo ID or something on these websites to authenticate you, like when you're government sites and stuff. Take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back, take a picture of your selfie, shoot this QR code, blah, blah, blah. It's all this authentication stuff.
I've got my
Okay.
driver's license on it.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. I don't know
And
anywhere that uses it though, where I never tried to use it for anything.
I used it, at the hospital, they ask for ID when you go in.
They took it?
They took it.
I thought they
Okay.
carded you when you wanted a drink.
Yeah,
I'll have
they
to try
could.
that. They ask if your driver's license when you go into the county main building to get an X-ray or something now. They give you a little paste-on badge, but they scan your driver's license. They scan your driver's license when you go to the hazardous waste drop-off, and they scan the
Yeah.
thing on the back
Yeah.
to make sure you're a
That's
resident.
it, because you're a resident. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They have a little hand call thing. They come to your car and they zap it. Don't get out of your car. They won't let you out of the car. Put your stuff in the truck, open the trunk. Don't get out of your car. Okay. Next. I guess the very short final 1 minute one.
Here's a quick guide for some of the sounds your second generation AirTag can make. This sound plays when you begin setting up your AirTag. Another plays when your AirTag is set up and ready to use. This one plays when you're locating your AirTag in the Find My app. This is the chime that plays when an unknown AirTag has been moving with you over a period of time. And this sound plays when you use the Find My app to locate an unknown AirTag moving with you. And those are some of the sounds your AirTag can make.
Okay. That's it.
Some new sounds.
Yeah. Good to know if you have one. I don't have one, but what they might be. I know how you'd remember them.
Well, there was two that I'm not familiar with, and I have some AirTags.
Yeah, you probably haven't had an unknown AirTag following you,
No,
which is different.
only once when I was in Hollywood and this gorgeous woman was following me.
Yeah,
No.
right.
So how did you
Okay.
slip the AirTag into her pocket? Yeah.
Okay, that's it for today. We're gonna move on to Q&A, social hour, anything. Anybody else got anything? Okay, we'll stop this one and start a new one. So I stop my share and stop the recording.